I hope you're ready because we have a big day today. Jerome Powell will be speaking around lunchtime. By the time right now you're watching this video, he probably already spoke. That explains why he's not joining us here in the basement, me and you and the bear, but I am glad you are here. Now, everyone will be on pins and needles to hear if Jerome hints of being more hawkish or hints of being more dovish. It'll be interesting to see what he says. But you know what, guys? We know in the big picture, it really doesn't matter because whether he's hawkish or dovish, we know one thing for sure. He's full of, like my mother used to say, full of balloon juice. And in the big picture, there's this massive big gray cloud hanging over Jerome that he can't deny. That would be like $32 trillion in debt that the United States government has. That would be the trillions in dollars of debt in the mortgage business and the consumer credit business. Everywhere. There's only so much he can do. He can play little games, but as I heard Larry Lepard say last night, he is in a box. So at the end of the day, our old friends, gold and this one here, remember him? Silver, right? They will maintain their value. Now let's move on to some other interesting developments. The last 3, 4, 5 days have been pretty brutal for the precious metal sector. Gold dropped about $100 an ounce, silver $2 per ounce. What I find very interesting, and I want to get your opinion on this, are two key points. Number one, yesterday, the price of gold, the price of silver held in there pretty well in the face of the dollar going up rather significantly. And that's a big thing because when the dollar goes up, the price of gold and silver almost always go down. But when we have the dollar going up and the price of gold and silver holding their ground, that's actually a sign of strength. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I've shared this with you. I feel like this rally we had over the last 2-3 months, I felt like it was really different than anything that we had over the last 2-3 years. Like this rally was based more on real strength and fundamentals as opposed to some of the previous rallies that kind of felt more based on like events that had occurred, like the March of 2020 type event or the Russia-Ukraine situation event. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And remember, this is so key for us to remember when it comes to the dollar. Right? And we all fall into that trap, comparing our value of our ounces to dollars. But nonetheless, that's what we've been trained to do. The dollar being strong, that's just a mirage because the dollar, the euro, the yen, they'll be compared to each other, one being strong, one being weak. But the reality is they're all being diluted. They're all losing value over time. So we really do want to hold fast to our idea that when we hold metals, we hold ounces. And with this recent drawdown in the price of gold and silver, you'd expect people would be selling. But I'm getting reports from all over the country that coin shops have been extremely busy over the weekend and that it's even carried through the early this week. So that's a good sign. We're seeing that when the prices have dropped, a lot of people are moving in to make precious metals purchases. And just like we can easily forget to value our precious metals on a per ounce basis, as opposed to make-believe unicorn fart dust fiat currency, it's also easy for us to forget about the crazy geopolitical situation in the world right now. Things are not getting any better. It may not be getting a lot of coverage in the mainstream media, but the situation in Ukraine, the situation between China and the United States, situations unfolding everywhere in the world are not moving in a positive direction. And let's remember, that's one of the key fundamental functions of gold and silver, to provide stability, to provide value during times of geopolitical turmoil. Hey, I understand. It's a wild ride trying to follow all of these stories, trying to look at the big picture. We can't allow it to drive us crazy, right? but we do want to develop a thesis, see the forest through the trees. And when we look at the big picture, a lot of us feel like there's great value, great opportunity in holding precious metals and in holding mining stocks. I'll be here for you through it all. I want you to know you're always welcome to come to Ron's Basement. I'll look forward to seeing you next time.